there has been a lot going on recently, mostly because of the coronavirus. But good God, um, it is unbelievable from seeing what's been going on this past couple of weeks. That the Brexiteers have been completely, absolutely 100% spurging out, trying to deliver and almost try to outdo each other on who can deliver like the worst coronavirus hot take at the moment. That is it is so bizarre to see. It's like a game of one-upmanship. Each one is worse than the last, and it just gets worse. So we're going to go and cover over what these idiots have been doing, and these are the people that pushed for Brexit as a good idea because now they realise that this coronavirus puts Brexit in jeopardy. I mean, we might even have to extend the transition period, although no one has said that yet. And I said very likely it will be this summer when it all happens. But when it starts to get to like September, October, there will have to be cries. We can't leave like this with what's going on. It will be an absolute even disaster. You cannot have such a shock to the entire world and then decide to inflict a self-inflicted injury, which is Brexit has always been, to our country. So let's see what these idiots have had to say for themselves. So the race to deliver the very worst take on the coronavirus crisis has attracted some serious competition from the Brexiteers of every stripe, yet it may have been won by the granddaddy of them all. We've heard the Brexit deniers like former UKIP leader Gerard Batten, who tweeted, this is a serious tweet, "This is all panic-stricken bullshit. It's the bloody flu. It's not the end of the human race. If I'm wrong and I'm still alive in a month's time, I'll take it all back." Given the death rate and how many people have died, Gerard, this isn't the bloody flu. We've had the surrealists like Daniel the brain of Brexit Hanan, who told the Telegraph readers, if coronavirus has one silver lining, it should be a return of the the return of the bow and the bow and the bow and the curtsy. He elaborated. A handshake can be an awkward thing, a clumsy, a clammy grabble, but a woman breathes something of herself in her curtsy. What? She can make the gesture demure or haughty, or coy and brazen. She can swish her skirts alluringly or bob coldly. The same is true of the mutualist manitudes for men. A bow allows you to convey precisely the degree of respect or affection you consider appropriate. What? We even had the anti-ageists, with former Kipper MP Godfrey Boingo Land Bloom asking, who decided on 70? Winston Churchill was 70 in 1940. I'm 70. Climbed Scarfell Pike last year at the summit. Was an ex-serviceman at 79. I see youngsters on the street corners who couldn't go 2 rounds with me in the ring even now. Right. And then we've had conspiracy theorists like Jeremy Corbyn's Brexiteer brother Piers, who wrote on Twitter in his trademark what about me paranoid in capital letters. The CV pandemic was stimulated October 29, 2019 by mega-rich control freaks Bill Gates, George Soros plus cronies. Now it's for real. The aim is world population cull. People call CO2 the problem, but they and their mass vaccination plan containing poison. And Piers is a fronting a daily broadcast breakfast show on national television. and he's spouting a vaccination conspiracy theory. Who lets this guy on air? Oh. And then he had even ended it. He even ended it with, this is the best part, wake up sheeple. When I first saw that, I was like, no, he can't have done that. But no, he did. I was thinking they got mixed up with an Alex Jones tweet, but no, he did. But for the very worst Brexiteer take on all of the coronavirus, look no further than the Nikon-stained man-frog Nigel Farage, who told the Heroes of Brexit event last week that the pandemic presented a jolly good chance to get a great trade deal with the EU. Farage began his remarks made during a Q&A with journalist Christopher Chopper Hope by noting it's very important that the Brexit Party is there, if in the wake of a financial crisis that may come because of the coronavirus, they try to suspend Brexit. Reassuring, isn't it, to know that in the event of a total market meltdown, with the need for close cooperation without tariffs and borders even more apparent, there will still be a toddler in the corner stamping his foot, demanding to have his Brexit. He went on, this awful crisis and the way it's gripping parts of Italy makes a trade deal with the EU even easier now. It's easier than it's ever been. The collapsing of the Italian economy needs a deal with the UK desperately, Germany equally. Hope then interjected, so rather than delay it, as they might do, to use it, Farage agreed. Use it to get a deal. You know, the Austrians have closed their border with Italy. Italians cannot cross that border into South Tyrol unless they prove they're coronavirus free. Farage, for those of you who just may have had a penny drop there, Farage has said for years that all these member states are not sovereign nations because they can't control their borders. And yet here we have a nation that's part of the EU, as we're told, not a sovereign country, controlling its borders. So free movement has ended. Globalization has ended. I'm sorry that it took something as awful as coronavirus, but it's over. It's done. And we will witness over the next few years the breakup of the Eurozone. Okay, mark that time once again, because I've said this before on this channel. Every 5 years, every time, you can go back, and I really want someone to do this, to go back to the archives and just get a clip of Nigel Farage saying the Eurozone isn't going to be here, it's going to collapse in a couple of years, and just timestamp it and just go forward. It's unbelievable. And by the way, Eurozone shows no sign of collapsing, by the way. And what's even more going to make how important being a member of the European Union is all these countries, after it's all over, if there is a financial crash, are all going to get together, work together to rebuild everyone and to make themselves stronger. And it will show how bad Brexit is, because we're not going to be a part of that. So if this massive recession, which everyone is expecting, does come, and then we Brexit, it's going to be an absolute catastrophe for us. Because there go our supply lines. There goes a lot of stuff. We're not going to get access to any of the European funds that we used to. There's going to be a lot of people out of a job. A lot of businesses are going to go under because of it. And then what's going to happen? Everywhere else in the Eurozone is going to start ticking back up. And we're not. We are going to be completely stagnated. And remember, throughout all this Brexit process since 2016, our economy has barely grown. It's almost stagnated. And even the people who've been in charge of the Bank of England have literally been, if growth doesn't occur this quarter, we're going to have to declare a recession. And not for the world, for us as a country. The breakup for the European Union and for us getting a trade deal is easy, even in the risk of a no-deal Brexit. The arguments about the risk of a no-deal Brexit would pose are as nothing to the downturn we are facing. It's actually would make the downturn even worse and recovering from that downturn even harder. So the government's got a great chance to get this done. In other words, it's a pity everyone's either locked inside, being made redundant, or dying. But the silver lining, in fact, make that golden lining, is that this crisis will help fulfill the isolationist dreams of our harbored for years. And let's not worry about pushing us even further down into the muck. We're eyeballs deep already. So let's continue sinking and enjoy the mud bath. As George Formby used to say, turned out nice again. Yep. These Brexiteers, we've been saying it, well, we've shown it many times on this channel. These people are crazy. They've got no idea how Brexit is going to actually turn out or even work. They're just hoping somehow the European Union just falls apart. It's shown absolutely no way, shape or form it's going to fall apart. There you go.